Ladies and gentlemen, Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, welcome at Sonoma Raceway in Northern California. We are here for another round of the DTM World Tour, sponsored by Norberg Ring Life, organization of NxtGen. As we see, the times of the 9 contestants are running up in the 125s, and we see Tom Dillison in a 128, so a closely knit pack, promising some close racing today. Not as many drivers as we would have hoped for. I guess the nice weather and the off day to the beach maybe has something to do with this. I'm your host for tonight, Knekkelman, also known as Philip. I'll be trying to keep you posted with all the important information regarding to this race, as I did last week at Imola, where we saw a fantastic victory by Willinga, the person that is now again very strong in first position, closely followed by DCS Arki, Pichi, FRT Altman. Then we see Fraser Pants in the first 26, just like Gonsi. Now Tom Dillison moved up to 7th in a 26 as well. Sven Duro also 26, and Scooby closes the back with a very low 127, which is he has everything to play for, I'm sure. I'll be your host tonight, so I will go and get some refreshments, and as we are getting ready for the race, there's no warm-up, so in less than 2 minutes we will be racing, and I'll come back to you in a minute. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. DCS Arki just nibbled in to first His best lap of 9 laps was a 1:25, followed by Wilinga, and Pichi is closing up the top 3. Now you see the other contestants. Here we go. I'll try to line up. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Top 3. And the field making it all safely through the first turns. Oh, and we see a little off. Tom Dillison, but Tom is able to continue the race. In 8 we see Sven Duro. And as we come to complete the first lap, Scooby in 7. And then we're gonna look for the pack, where we see Fraser Pants in 6th. FRT Holtman in the blue and yellow car in 5th. Attacking Ganzi in 4th. PG in a strong 3rd. Wilinga in 2nd, and our race leader finishing the first lap, Arki, DCS Arki. Making up the climb here at Sonoma. And then moving on down towards the carousel. Sonoma Raceway, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2.52-mile road course and drag strip located on a landform known as Sears Point in Northern California, in the district of San Francisco Bay, in the Bay Area. Beautiful location for a beautiful racetrack, which knows 160 feet elevation difference between the lowest and highest point. Highest point is about 167 feet above sea level. And that is it. Here we see Arki making the climb to the mountain, let's call it a little hill, and then to dive down to the valley again. So Arki followed by Wilinga in the yellow car. Closely followed by a very strong Pichi, who looks to be stronger in this bendy circuit that has caught a lot of drivers in going off in the gravel. And we will see that tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will see drivers missing their braking points. And the track is somewhat unforgiving because of the close proximity of all the walls and obstacles. And here we're going to pick up the fight for 4th and 5th between FRT Ganzi and FRT Holtman. Two strong contestants in this DTM series. Definitely podium material, these two drivers. And Holtman is running in 5th, having a lap time of 1:26 already. And he's matching the time of Hansi in fourth, also a 1:26 flat. Here you see the strong braking for the hairpin that brings us down to the S's. Well, then we have the hairpin off the drag strip. There you saw the drag strip where the drag races are held, and making it, completing lap 4 of 20. Now they're in the SSCS. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. This track is not that familiar to me, and the Americans have a strange tradition of not naming their corners. So now we are in corner 12. That leads up to start finish. Let's pick up the fight for 6th and 7th. We see Fraser Pants putting some distance between him and Scooby. Scooby, who is clocking a 1:27.1 already. Can he challenge Fraser Pants maybe later on in the race when concentration starts to drop? Because this is a high concentration track. It's a driver's circuit, like they say. Mistakes are easily made. And of course, in this league, we have the rules of the default setup. So all drivers came to the start holding the same weapon. And there we see an 8. Sven Duro also clocking already a 27 low. I believe Sven Duro had some difficulties in the first lap. Didn't really have a good picture of that. Because at this pace he should be a little bit more up front. And in 9th we see Tom Dillison, who looks to have a little bit of a dramatic start of this race and kind of lost touch with the pack. We see him struggle there, making his way to start and finish, completing the 5th lap. And he pulls in the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Tom Dillison forfeits the race. That's a shame. So we have 8 racers left. And we're gonna check with our leaders, where we see a fierce fight between Pidgey and Wielinga. Pidgey is really on the pace with a 25.5 as his best time. Beautiful cornering there by Pidgey. Trying to put some pressure on Wielinga in 2nd, who also is clocking a 1:25.6. No slouch by any means. And there we saw one of the back markers getting out of the way. Sonoma Raceway, ladies and gentlemen, is host to one of only 2 Monster Energy and NASCAR Cup Series races each year. And they are run of the 2 only races that are run on road courses. The other one being Watkins Glen in New York. So NASCAR comes to this track once a year, and we also saw some IndyCar races. And of course the yearly Dragster Cups. We have a little bit of a status quo here in the fight for second, where Wielinga seems to have the better hand. Although Pitchy is a strong contestant for second, putting on the pressure. And there in first we see our race leader, now already clocking a 1:25.416, fastest lap of the race. In the beautiful Mercedes AMG C Coupe DTM. Powerful machine with the DRS wing, the drag reduction system, to give our drivers that extra on the straights. Of course, closing as soon as they hit the brake pedal. Here we see the lap times, and yes, Arki is not only leading the race but also lapping fastest. Wielinga and Pitchy. Ganzi in fourth, closely followed still by Holtman. Ganzi, who took part in the GT4 series earlier today and managed twice a podium, 2 second places. Well done, Ganzi. Ganzi is a kind of an all-rounder that we see perform in many of the NxtGen leagues. Maybe his strongest point is the GT3 series. He's also contesting in the Hardcore League, as well as in the Clio Cup, so he's a jack of all trades. So closely following Ganzi is Holtman in fifth. And we know Holtman being strong in these cars. He's a driver that excels in the DTM Cup. Has managed podium and win before. Even the last season he was a regular winner. And he actually is a reigning champion. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Holtman making a stronger impression in these last laps. Trying to show his nose, making the driver in front of him, Ganzi, a little bit nervous maybe by showing up in his rearview mirrors now and then again. Let's pick up the fight for 6th and 7th, where we see Scooby G now closing up, really closing up to Fraser Pants. Scooby G clocking already a 1:2.62, which is really fast. Chasing down Fraser Pants, who is running a little bit slower, 1/10. But for now manages to hold off any threat from behind, being Scooby G at the moment. Svenduro in 8. We see him making more and more progress, but his lap time is still not low enough to really make a connection with the rest of the pack, and especially with the fight for 6th. And as we complete lap 11 and we start lap 12, we're gonna ride with Holtman to show you a whole lap around this fantastic circuit in the northern Californian hills in Sonoma County in the San Francisco Bay Area. Sharp right-hander bringing us to the carousel. On the drag strip, looking for the break point at 100. Sharp right-hander. And then we go through the S's. And after a short right-hander, we come to turn 12. Hard braking point at about 75 meters. Strong right next to the pit lane, and we go over start finish to complete 12 laps. So with 8 laps to go, we see strong racing here by Holtman and strong defending by Gonzi. Wielinga seems to not have managed to really pull away from Pidgey. So Pidgey still a strong contestant for the 2nd place in this race. A steady Wielinga, of course, so it's not really there yet to steal 2nd place away. Pidgey isn't. But with one mistake of Wielinga, Pidgey will take the opportunity to pass, no doubt. These guys are turning out phenomenal lap times. 1:25 low is very, very fast around here. We see that often, ladies and gentlemen, that drivers excel during the race, maybe qualify a little lower or a little less good, but then they manage to get into race mood and to turn out one fast lap after the other. Some racers really like to be chased, others like to chase a car. It all depends. So we're gonna pick up our race leader, Arki, who is now closing up lap 14. There you have it, 6 laps to go. All stable in front. Actually never really felt any threat. And bar from any mishaps, is on his way to a stunning victory in this DTM World Tour Cup. Fight for second. Cliff Wielinga, who is really trying to get rid of old PG. But he is holding on for dear life and is biting himself in the ass of Wielinga like a little English terrier. PG is giving it all, trying to make it one step higher on the podium. Constantly on, it seems like these cars have constantly a little bit of oversteer. They're genuine race monsters. A lot of horsepower. And especially in combination with the DRS, sometimes rather difficult to keep on track and not to oversteer and end up in the gravel. Very tight fight here, ladies and gentlemen, for second. But also for fourth, excuse me, we see this ongoing, continuing battle by Haltman and Ganzi. Now we drive, the camera picked up Haltman. Strong fight by the two Dutchmen in this international championship, where we see Belgian contestants, Dutch drivers and British drivers. In today's race. Here Ganzi missed his braking, he went wide, but Haltman could not finish him off. This is extremely exciting racing, ladies and gentlemen. And as we come to the closing stages of this race, of course the drivers are going to take that little extra risk to make up a position and to go for the overtake. Little imbalance in the car of Ganzi. Can he make his break point? Can he close the door? Yes. Now Haltman has to come close to him so he can use the slipstream later on the straight and maybe do a dive bomb at the end of this little straight. No, I'm afraid he's too far now. Yes, he's close. Maybe he can now go in the... Maybe he can go in the slipstream. Haltman trying to outbrake Ganzi. He's running out of laps. He's very close now. He's trying to get closer. These drives are extremely well matched. There's nothing between these guys. Little oversteer, or shall I say understeer. He came close to going off, but was managing to save it. But of course this means that he lost a little bit, he lost some ground. Holman still trying to maybe get that fourth position. Now, meanwhile, Fraser Pants still in sixth. And Sven Duro is now up to seventh. It's a shame we weren't able to see that. Yes, here you have it. Scooby G lost a position. Sven Duro now in seventh, managed to get seventh. Fraser Pants in sixth. So these positions are locked, we think. Holtman now lost a little bit of ground to Ganzi. So there we have it, the race leader. And here the fight for second, we see Pichi really closing in on Wielinga. Trying to outbrake him here for the hairpin onto the start finish. No. Excuse me, the hairpin before the S's. This glowing circuit is beautiful to see the cars move left and right. The cars slide quite a bit. These are untamed monsters. It's not easy to drive, let me tell you. So now we are in the last lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. Our race leader, if he keeps it on the black stuff, then Arki will have a beautiful win here at Sonoma Raceway in sunny California. Battle for second, we're going to follow a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Close battle for second. Wielinga manages to hold off Pidgey, but Pidgey is really knocking on his door, on the back door, trying to make by. We're going to stay with this battle for a little while. Here we have it, our race leader, Arki, for the last time through the S's. On his way to a beautiful victory. Congratulations, Arki, with a beautiful win. In second, yes, Wielinga, and third, beautifully driven by Pidgey. In fourth, Ganzi managed to hold off Holtman. In strong driver, managing to catch fifth. Fraser Pants, making it through the last hairpin, comes in sixth. Well done. And here we have Sven Duro in seventh after his bad luck in the first lap. Managed to claw his way back up to seventh. Well done. And Scooby G closing up the field in eighth. Well done. Great lap time. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The DTM World Tour round at Sonoma Raceway. I was your host, Knekelman, also known as Philip. I beg your pardon if sometimes I wasn't that clear in my commentary, but I'm fighting off a little spring cold here in sunny Belgium. It is possible to catch a cold in the springtime. But next week we will be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to bring you the next round in the DTM World Tour, ladies and gentlemen. And here we take a last look at the final results. Well done, Arki, and the podium is completed by Willinga and Pichi. And of course, a thank you to all the contestants, all the drivers, and thank you to Nürburgring Live and the NxtGen organization. And I hope to see you next week in the next round of the DTM World Tour. Bye for now.